Okay, this one's number 2. The one I thought would start a lot more drama than it did, though. And the videos, all of them got more popular eventually, but yeah, still, Linkara, softcore porn, and yeah, I'll get into that later, but there's still plenty of stuff here. I think this one's actually the funniest of the 3 episodes, because there's so many things in here that I really liked, but I'll go into that later, so let's start it right now. So this scene here, like, the whole point was to make fun of how Linkara is so fucking uptight. And also, in this scene as well, like, I'm making fun of the whole I torture you with bad movie thing. And basically this, and Linkara here is being uptight feminist. Like, how dare you objectify women? How dare you look at them? Like, he's a feminist, but at the same time, he's got that conservative side to him where women shouldn't, you know, have their tits out or whatever. But yeah, like, basically it's to say, like, this would be a real form of torture if you want to torture someone, but no, you've got to do the whole, I'm going to show you something that's so bad that it'll be torture, like a bad movie or whatever. Like, that started with the AVGN, with the whole, with the Halloween episodes, where it made sense, where he did it with Freddy and Jason, 2 consecutive episodes, because, you know, Halloween characters, they torture you. But then people just took that, and then, you know, he's got Bugs Bunny he's fighting with, and then, you know, a lot of people took that shit, but like Linkara just taken it to this insane degree where it's not even slapstick anymore. He's trying to make a serious story out of it, which is just as bad as his Lightbringer shit. And I swear here, I'm breathing heavily, but I look like, I don't know if I'm meant to be scared here or I'm just getting horny. It looks very strange. Even more so there. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not an actor. Good God. But yeah, again, like, I'll torture you a bad movie. And, like, yeah, it got really annoying at one point. I think I saw Sage do it with Spoonie or some anime review. And it's like, it looked, at that point, it looked so generic, like so run-of-the-mill. Every motherfucker had done that. And I think to this day, they still pull that shit. Like, I torture you with bad movie. It's not funny anymore. Like, they lost sight of what made it funny in the first place when James did it with bloody Halloween episodes. And, you know, anyway, I've gone on long enough about that. Get another weird intro. I think this one I use Egg Kara, which is, again, was in the same thread I used from the other one with Fat Kara, but basically, I think that's what we all started noticing when Kara really put on weight, like, pretty badly. He's got he's got the egg face now. I think other people have used it as well, but anyway. Yeah, the references in this one, I'll explain it. Basically, the very first one I use is the Mr. Ed one, which I think it's a different one, but it looks very strange. And like I saw it, I'm really confused. I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? I can't unwatch it. And since I thought, well, I'm going to use weird shit to confuse people, that furry is going to be perfect. And so I looked at this channel, Alex Kovacs, his name was. Like, I saw all these other videos and I thought, wow, there's so much strange shit here. Like, he's trying to be artistic with it, I guess, like trying to look like an animal with the poses and whatnot. And to be fair, the guy actually, you know, stays in shape. Like, he's probably the only fit furry ever. The rest of them are probably all fat and, you know, and autistic instead of artistic. But, and yeah, as for this, again, I'll explain why I'm not going to review any more Linkara of his comics, because people have asked me to do more. But again, it's the same shit here. Speech bubbles, lots of text, excessive amount of text. He hadn't crossed over from, you know, writing yet, and the artwork shit. It's the same shit over and over again. He took a while to adapt, but I'd just be repeating myself. I already kind of did, and even now this commentary, like, I already took on a bit. I've taken. This is like a second take now. I did a first take, but I realized I was going to repeat myself so many times that it just wouldn't be funny. You know, if I keep doing it, I'd be like I said this in a PM to someone, I'd be no better than that guy with the glasses, you know, doing the same shit over and over and over again. Especially since I wrote this as a 3-parter anyway, the storyline part. And now we're getting into the Watchmen part. Oh, this is just, I think first I'll show the comic book here. Like, I read this one as well. It seems so out of place. It was this rant about how Watchmen's really about this, really about that. Like, he had a mundane conversations again, And then here we got the rant. He saw the Watchmen movie, then he got pissed off like this. Basically, like the only thing that got him angry was the whole, oh, giant squid, where's the giant squid? You ruined everything. Fuck you, Zack Ryder. Whatever his name is. And he did sound like an angry fanboy. But it's funny, like Marsgall did a response to it. They pretty much said, well, having Dr. Manhattan be the threat doesn't it not change the whole point of, you know, Russia and the USA, you know, coming together from a common enemy? That was the whole point. So the giant squid thing is just a minor detail, but he just went on this tirade. It was so... I remember being... To be honest, I've taken the worst bits out. Like, for the rest of it, he's kind of normal. I've taken the very worst bits for humor, and I remember it being as bad as I've made it look here. This is he reviewed something else as well, and this I can't remember, but he just... Yeah, but giant squid bit. That part there, I swear to God, you could take out of context. It sounds so fucking weird. It makes him sound like a ultra fucking nerd, like he has a mental disorder. Seriously. Good and evil aren't subjective. That quote there is Linkara's comics in a nutshell. And again, I'm repeating myself though. Ends justify the means, you know. But with this episode, I feel. I'm trying to talk something to say now, but... Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to go. I'll talk about that later. Oh, the best part here. I used the fashion music here because I thought, yeah, I'll do a quick parody. The whole point is just to build up towards the final bit of artwork where he drew the softcore porn, which shocked the hell out of me because the way he does it on the site, you click next and you just see stuff. I didn't actually look in the galleries and try to actively find this shit. I just bumped the door and click next. Oh, another fan art. Oh, another thing popped up, which is why I'm mentioning it. And, oh god, this picture's gonna give me fucking nightmares again. And just... One thing I didn't mention, I kind of wish I harped on more, is when he says, like obviously someone hasn't read up on any philosophical writings whether characters are real or not. Like, that isn't just I masturbate to cartoon characters, which, you know... Yeah, people are into that, whatever, I don't fucking care. If he said, this picture had her in much hotness, that's all he had to say, but because he's socially retarded, I better justify it so people don't think I'm weird, but he's just dug himself in a hole and made it worse. And the whole him justifying it, saying, oh, the characters are real or not. Like, that's not, I'm horny for characters, that's, I'm in love with cartoon characters. Like, that's like, I'm going to, like, print this character on a pillowcase and marry the pillow later on. Level of creepy that he's at. Which is why, you know, adds to the fact that he might be a furry, who knows? It's fucking scary. That's just disturbing. And then later on here, I'm about to show when he draws the cartoon character for his fans to masturbate to. Because one thing I want to mention is, on Something Awful, they found his comic and they just ripped into it. I haven't actually seen the thread because I haven't paid to see Something Awful. It's on the archives. But he wrote some long tirade saying, or whatever. He didn't go on a tirade. He just kind of responded and tried to be, oh yeah, but it's crap, I know, but whatever. But he said it was a feminist in there in 2007, and yet he's drawn this comic for his fans to masturbate to. Which, by the way, at that point he hadn't made a lot of content. He'd slowed down quite a bit, and this was to tide his fans over. I should have made a joke about him being sexist here, saying like, "Oh, he only made porn for men. Why not the women?" Yeah, but anyway, like, yeah, look, he's obviously not a sex-positive feminist, so it's completely hypocritical for him to draw that. And it's like, hang on, are you really a feminist, or are you just saying that, and you know, to look politically correct? Because I personally think it suits his old world. Like, I think he grew up with an ultra-Christian upbringing, and the whole women should cover up thing kind of fits into that, so it was easy for him to cross over in that regard. Yeah, a little Blade Runner reference there.
Back to the shitty story, and we get more walls of text to rival an 8-bit comic. How about that? All they say is that the FBI will freeze their accounts and Nazi-Bringer will march in and beat them up. That's it. Since Nazi-Bringer's parents were killed by them a while ago, I would assume they were just as strong then as they are now. which would mean there will be
Again, I'm pointing out the logical inconsistency with the story, which something I don't know, almost forgotten about. I just remember it being really shitty with the interest of other means, but again, why? Like, why wouldn't they just lock him up? Like, he makes again, it's like he's inspired by Batman. So in Batman, it makes no sense for some crime overlords to take over as much as they did. To that extent, is insane. Like, you think the military would get involved, and if they got that out of hand with the corruption.
Anyway, we go to the next page with a shitty gradient background and a wall of text.
And the gradients, again, I talked about this before, but he used it so much. It's obvious he opened Photoshop, played around with the filters and thought, wow, this gradient shit's awesome. And he just used it again and again and again. It just became a running joke. And he gave him the logical inconsistencies. Here, she basically tries to bait criminals and beat them up because, I don't know, she was bored or some shit. I can't remember now. I got going on about it here, but I can't. Yeah. And it's scary. Look, he says that 2006. Like, this was drawn by a guy who was 19. And one little thing I want to talk about, some person accused me of being racist because in the top corner you see there the picture like a dime bag playing guitar with the southern flag there on the guitar. Someone accused me of being racist in the comment section. Oh, you're a racist. You're the real racist. I'm like, what? And one other thing I've almost forgotten again is how extreme he went. Like, I know the characters are extreme, but the actions they've done, especially here, like, there's human trafficking and saying, oh, look at this little whore. Ooh, I'm like I made the joke here later on, like, oh, eat a dead baby may as well eat a dead baby sandwich. It's just so poorly written. It's indicative of his shit writing. He can't write a good villain, and personally, like I mentioned this earlier, I prefer villains that have some depth to them. That there's a reason why they're crazy. Like, Magneto's a good villain because, you know, it makes sense why he's like that, because mutants are treated like shit, and, you know, he doesn't like being treated poorly anymore. You know, it's kind of, there's a whole race, issue of race. We're in the 60s, so you got the whole, racist issue back then with, the Black Panther types and your Martin Luther King types. And, but that makes inspiring your villains like that, like, it makes a much better story that way. It's more complex, I guess, but it's more interesting. Like, when you're writing for... Obviously, you can't write a children's story. Like, no, you still can. Well, not as deep, but you still kind of can. Even like X-Men, I watched it as a kid, and it was still interesting, so... But, obviously, for kids, it's easier to write like a generic villain. And like, kids don't really care, but... And some adults don't care, but you really should put more effort into your writing. And Clara never really did. Like, I think this is the most extreme example. The human trafficking thing was by far the most extreme shit he ever wrote. Like, tying a woman up and selling her. I don't think actually, no, that's not true. I mentioned earlier the old, he had some Jack the Ripper ripoff that stabbed prostitutes and killed them. So he had that too, but, like, still, he doesn't know how to write a villain. Well, anyway, on the next page, it's just an excuse for him to say, "Oh, look, people who disagree with me, this is what you look like. You're evil. You're a piece of shit." Like, and he just can't write at all. And he never, that part he never improved. And this part here, it's indicative of him not drawing. You got to show, don't tell. It works for comics and movies as well. It's a visual medium. But he's writing it as if it's, oh, this is so traumatic. This is such a horrible thing I'm seeing, but we don't see it. It's obviously with his writing background again, but it would be way more powerful if we saw what he imagined. But he's probably too chicken shit to, oh no, I don't want to draw a woman being tortured. Oh no, that would offend my parents, and that would be against my conservative lifestyle. Like, when you're an artist like that, you can't be afraid to do anything. Like, if you wanted to pick something and it works for your story, you got to do it. And again, the shitty drawings again. And about him being chicken shit again, like, go back to him being a feminist. And if I talked about the actual comic, I'd repeat myself, because again, one panel page text, he does this a million fucking times. But about him being a feminist, like, apparently he became a feminist. It's right, in that post I mentioned on his Blogspot page about Something Awful. He, like, in his reviews, he said, "Oh well, you shouldn't depict rape at all in." Actually, I'll go even further. Shitty writing. Apparently, he planned to write a villain. This is probably the only one he put effort into, which is why he was really proud of it. The idea of something called White Death, where basically was a character who was raped on stage, but the audience thought it was a part of the act, and therefore she became and she died of it. I think she became mentally disturbed or something. That was the plan for it, and he thought this was the most brilliant idea ever about the White Death. And he went to on the Girl Wonder forums. That's it. He went there and he said, "Oh, well, is this a good idea?" And they said, "No, you shouldn't do that. That's offensive." Yeah, typical feminist. Yeah, you can't depict anything that will offend us. And he's like, "Oh, okay, I won't do it anymore." And it's funny, in these reviews, he said, like, "Oh, well," some other comment must have depicted rape. He said, "Oh, well, the people on Girl Wonder reckon you shouldn't do it." But then you realize why he said that. It's not because he just found a random topic. It's because they told him, "No, fuck you. That's going to be terrible." And it just shows how chicken shit he is as an artist to really depict what he wants, and he's afraid to offend, and you can't do that as an artist. Anyway, this part. This was my favorite thing to do in the entire series. It's just so over the top and silly the way I did it. Like, you know, the crazy over the top voices, the crazy, and I'm pretty much giving him shit, doing his shtick with the comic books. It looks a lot better personally. No, but yeah, again, like I know an example of, I'm going to stab people, but it'll save them with their organs. That's how ridiculous he's got in this one. He's pretty much that insane. Because eventually, the enemy, I'm going to stab people. This enemy said, I'm going to human trafficking, but the money will be used to help school kids, and that's just ridiculous. But yeah, I watched this over and over again when I edited it. And it's a bit longer than I thought it would to actually make the images, but this part here, someone in the comments mentioned, I didn't realize he has the Hitler brow as well, which I didn't notice, much subconsciously thinking he's a racist. But yeah, like, I watched this over and over again. I think I'm not gonna say represented a change in direction, but a lot of my more recent videos, like, it's not as scripted as my other stuff has been. Like the DHI drama videos, or like I go more off the cuff lately. Like in the other one where I made fun of why don't you talk to me anymore? Like, yeah, that one where like a lot of the parts are just completely unscripted. Even the Expo racism one, like I had dot points, but I just thought whatever hell went in my head. And this is Dicksman, which is greatest webcomic of all time. If you don't agree, you're a fucking idiot. But yeah, and again, a pointless crossover because it's like a DHI reference. It's a comic Asaman did where he made fun of I see Dick Punch, where he made fun of Linkara's comic as well, and his artwork. He's watching this as well, but the artwork he does, like, he just uses the paint bucket tool to make it, but it looks so strange that it's unique in its own weird little way. But yeah, this was just so fun to do. And later on, like I said, I do more different content like that. And sometimes, like, I end up being more racist when I go on when I just shoot from the hip like that. Like, why don't you talk to me anymore video, I just start saying racial slurs and shit. And the Expo one was probably an excuse for me to go to start doing that. But yeah, and he goes in his tirade about philosophy again, like.
Compare yourself to an extreme example of what you oppose.
Yeah, and again, comparing yourself to an extreme example, that's something I hate a lot of. Like I mentioned, pseudo-intellectuals do it. Like I mentioned Bill Maher and even Penn and Teller, even though I actually do like Penn and Teller's show, they do that a lot. There was one point in Penn and Teller where they had Maddox on there. They didn't realize he was fucking with them. Like he said Maddox is something like, "Oh, old people are they smell, they're terrible." Yeah, the typical shtick he does where he acts like an over-the-top asshole. But a lot of people do this. Like, even like the internet feminists do this shit. They think that all men that hate them must be misogynist pieces of dog shit, and they must treat all must be evil, and they hate men like we're perfect. Like the right wing does it too, but honest, a lot of the hardcore left wingers do this shit too. They tend to portray the opposite side as evil. They're dumb. They're stupid. Everyone who disagrees with left wing opinions must be a dumb inbred southern hick with their shotgun shooting down Arab people while we're perfect. Like even on Bill Maher's show, on Actually, no, I'm not going to stop that. I'm going to talk about this. Like, he talked about... He actually changed the script of his story when he read a forum and, like, an argument he got into, which he was probably proved wrong, which I mentioned there. You can't have grey without black and white. Like, he's, like, absolute view. Like, this Sith-like view. And the Sith doing absolutes. Like, he would actually be... If he was a... Oh, if he tried to dress up as a fucking... Oh, I don't want to imagine him dressing like a Jedi, but he'd be a Sith. He has the same mentality, and if you saw Star Wars, he would go right over his fucking head.
Seriously lacking in text on this page who you fucking want in order to try to make a better case.
But yeah, like, he's using this comic to argue people on the internet, and I deliberately compare him to Christianity, because Christian did the same shit. More over the top, yeah, but he took things in real life, and, you know, obviously Linkara was more subtle, but it's insane. Because it's obvious. I didn't see the forum where he argued with people, but it's pretty obvious. He probably got fucking owned. And people probably said what I said. Think, hang on, you're a fucking idiot. No, you can't have this black and white view. That's childish and stupid. But, confirmed as a Christian clan. I get it. He's not really that bad. I mean, I know, I'm being a dick. But still, the parallels were just scary. Even then, here, he's like... He's seeing them as the people who he hates. And he chucks... Again, the whole fuck pacifism, I'm going to kill you thing. But, it's scary how many parallels are to Christian. Like, drawing the characters and then being scared of fucking someone underage. Because, yeah, Christian had that sign saying, I'm looking for a boyfriend-free girl 18 years and over. Like, both of them being uptight and Christian. You know? It's scary. But at the same time, he's not as bad, but it's just funny. But yeah, again, the creepy...
On the next page, we see all the people being paralyzed with fear of how brilliant...
Yeah, like paralyzed... Again, I'll talk about this for too. Paralyzed with fear. It made no sense. Like, he kills one guy. There's a whole... Every single person who took over the city was in that building at that one time, which makes no sense, which is stupid, but... You'd think they would all have guns and take him out.
FBI, the police, and every bit of law enforcement to arrest all of them. Why the hell couldn't they do that without Lightbringer? We saw that the general was nothing more than a mere human and could be taken out easily by police. So beating him wasn't...
Again, it just shows his shitty writing. He wrote himself into a hole where he made some enemies so powerful that then, you know...
This one is absolutely gaping. Lightbringer was completely unnecessary here. And another thing, you're telling me that an organization
I'm so angry, aren't I?
that took over an entire city could all fit into this tiny building? How incompetent is this law enforcement? Anyway, they finally decide to do their damn
Anyway,
job.
I think I mentioned here in the commentary says he's so many references here to other characters in comic books, which eventually he did a crossover with some of them, but this part here I actually referenced in the not to bring a bit of spoilers there for everyone, like they fucking cared. And this part here, I don't know what that quote's from. Not even the face of again, never compromise. Like, he's so cute. Like, he's trying to be philosophical and smart and have a quote people will remember, but it's a Watchmen reference. It is. Oh my god, it was just so like never compromise. He thinks he's being smart, but it just shows that he was still in college and you have that pseudo intellectual phase.
Because it looks stupid. We conclude with a cliffhanger, as he describes it, of Hannah finding out that he is the Batman. I mean, Lightbringer. Who fucking cares? Quite frankly,
anyway, I gotta get to the storyline here. There's a lot of references in here as well to a few people. I was like, there's... Yeah, that does it. I'm going on and again about how it's just for the means bullshit, which you'll see. God, like I said, I'll mention it again. It happens in the third one with Smiling Man, but with this storyline, I reference a few people. Like I probably might go too quickly for me to reference it, so I'll go on about it. The part where, like, we're on the computer and they look at, I'm going to see Guru. Oh, here without here. The raid, the Spoonie reform. That's funny. The guy made fun of Josh in the, why don't you talk to me anymore? The guy that was all emo and shit. He first post he made on DHR was saying, let's raid TSE and... This bit here, if he fucks with people, he's going to fuck with him. That wasn't me making fun of Templar. Templar said that when he got caught out. And again, my Smiles point was, okay, this is a generic, you know, and over the top anti that guy with the glasses spoony shit. And oh god, Dr. Insano. But yeah, there's a bit. Yeah, but there's a part where I say like let's post guru porn. Like that Acid Man actually did that. Tiny Tim can back me up on that, where he actually did it to troll them, and like it's another reference there as well. Yeah, the mod. I actually edited that in there. Erlicht is actually a member of the forum, and this is a Tiny Tim reference because Tiny Tim just caps everything. It's scary how much he does it. But Erlicht the mod, I called him the forum Nazis onto us. He's actually German, so that was a little pot shot there as well because I'm a dick. And he actually talks to us on DHI sometimes as well.
Do you see now?
On this bit here.
Let me know when you can help.
This bit here, I'm so close to not doing this with the music. Like I thought it wasn't going to work with the Raining Blood, but luckily I found a guitar track because like the drum bits, the timing was real annoying because it was like dun 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 while I'm in the middle of talking. So I thought I have to cut it and find something else. But luckily I found that because the music's just perfect for this. Conceivless. Yeah, funny, you see at the end though, I do like a plain face, so I didn't cut it early enough. And there. You see my mouth close a bit, like I'm about to stop. And finish the fight, little Halo 3 reference. But yeah, again, I do the slow crawl, but yeah, like, I was trying to speak too much, but basically earlier on, just, like I said, with Templar, because, where the character said, oh, if he fucks with people, we're gonna fuck with him. Like, Templar said that we got caught out clickbombing. There's a video, I'll put that in the description as well, where Ace earlier, he caught him out. And yeah, I think the other stuff I explained already, yeah, like, Jake, not Jake, it was Josh, doing the whole, like, the first post, he was called USSR for life because, yeah, he was 14 and retarded. And, like, and yeah, the whole point of, like I said, like, them, like, raiding his forum and trolling the fuck out of him, like, fuck them, like, that's what a lot of them are like. A lot of them did do that. I think eventually in the third episode I referenced them, but the site being DDoS, which actually happened. Like, that's how over the top, like, some of the people got. Yeah, I think over the end of it, I think this one, yeah, I do. I have the Linkara, the whole Nazi thing I mentioned in the first episode. You'll see that in 2 seconds, or probably more, with the Linkara slur crawl making fun of. Here it comes.
You know, there's another group of people that thought like you, Linkara. They were called Nazis! They were closed-minded, hate-filled people that just want everything their way. Are you a Nazi, Linkara? No. Are you a Nazi, Linkara?
I remembered this and I thought I had to use it. I had to use it. Look,
You're a liar. You're a liar.
It's just perfect.
You know something that you're not telling us, you
Yeah, proof. Yeah, I'm also being a dick, but still, like, yes, liar. And yeah, and that's the end of the episode. So yeah, I'll do them for the third one. I think that was, like I said, I think that was the best episode I did there because like it had certain moments like the Nazi Bigger comic, which I liked doing, and the whole dramatic thing about the best ammo you could use with him being a creepy pervert with the whole I masturbate to cartoon characters thing. And yeah, the third episode I still liked, but again, by the end, Acid Man even said this too, like I ended up repeating myself a lot, saying the same shit over and over and over again. But yeah, so that's the end of that. So yeah, so that's the end of that, and I enjoyed the third episode too, but these did take a while to do, but I'll go into that towards the end of the last episode when I'm doing the whole real review thing, because I won't have much to say.